Like many who call North Georgia home, I've hiked the trails of Kennesaw Mountain Battle Park. Ever challenging, always interesting. This morning, no different. Today's walk, the pursuit of ornithology, the glory and the appreciation of birds.
Yes.
No, we got a pretty good day weather-wise.
Sharing the Noses Creek Trail journey with me on this chilly April morning, an economist, academic, and public servant, the 15th president and CEO of the Federal Reserve Bank of Atlanta, as we hike toward a favored avocation.
Atlanta is very interesting because it's got unique geography. It's really in a good spot on the migration trail. So when the birds are migrating up, turkey vulture.
Optics matter here, identification a defining aspect of this outdoor hobby. With bird watching, it's more than a wing and a prayer.
So when the birds are migrating up from South America, the Caribbean, they're on these long flights. And so at some point they start to get tired. And Kennesaw Mountain is like the first high thing they see.
Dr. Raphael Bostic is a passionate, dedicated birdwatcher. He is providing a tutorial for my untrained eyes.
So today we'll see a lot of robins, cardinals, titmice, some warblers, sparrows, some jays you'll see, blue jays. You're hearing some robins right now. And so it's a good time. Maybe if we're lucky, we'll see a tanager, summer scarlet tanager, and some orioles are starting as well to move. So it's a very nice time of the year. And then it's also before the bugs come out.
The bugs impact almost every outdoor southern summer hobby, and President Bostic has learned quickly to adapt. A New Jersey native, a Harvard alum, the 58-year-old financial leader earned his master's and doctorate from Stanford and discovered an adult affinity for nature, a pivot from indoors to outdoors.
This is a dumb luck hobby on some level. My partner, now husband, and I were driving across the country to go to our next job in D.C. and decided to do a national park tour. Huh. And so we were going to all these national parks. We had two different styles of hiking. I was a get to the end of the trail type of guy. And Jeff was the journey is the point. And so I'd be marching along and I would be way ahead. And then wound up saying, well, I should probably wait. And then started noticing all these things bouncing around that I hadn't noticed before. And then Jeff's sister got us a bird guide and a feeder.
And a new avocation, hobby, passion was hatched. The calm is most welcome from a high-pressure job.
So when you were a kid growing up in New Jersey, did you envision the life that you now find yourself immersed in?
Not at all. It's a funny thing. I thought I was going to be an engineer or a sports broadcaster.
Sports broadcaster, really?
I love sports. And
I did the Atlanta Falcons for years on radio.
Really?
Is that a job that you would like?
Oh my goodness, that would be amazing. That would be amazing.
I'm sorry we didn't get to work together.
No, I know. I would have really enjoyed that. Yeah, I was a huge sports fan growing up, and basketball, baseball, football. Even today, when I watch my games, I'm yelling at the TV, making my commentary in real time, and so it's a lot of fun.
Shouldering the burden of inflation, economics, unemployment, navigating the complexity of American politics and policy, while dealing with the specter of public life, the solitude with reflection offers a welcome respite from a demanding Atlanta life.
Atlanta has been satisfying for you?
Atlanta's been great. It's been very, very interesting. I've learned a lot. So this job is interesting because, it's a big job in terms of an economy perspective. So I get to talk to a lot of business leaders. I've learned a lot about how industry works and sort of what it takes to be successful in business, which has been quite interesting. But because of what we're doing and because the Federal Reserve has two mandates, it's inflation but also maximum employment, we're thinking hard about, like, what does work look like? And how do people get to work? And that's much more of a micro in neighborhoods, in communities. Are the schools working? Are there workforce development and training opportunities? Is there capital if you wanted to start a small business? Like, how do all of these things work?
President Bostic made recent national headlines appearing before a moderated Atlanta discussion at Emory, making it clear that the Fed must avoid acting hastily in response to ever-evolving economic policies.
And the complexity of American politics is such that what might have been one way years ago no longer is.
Well, the world is always evolving, and opportunities for innovation, create new opportunities and new ways of working. And for me, I'm terrible with technology. I always want to be the last adopter, but technology always means that there are different ways you can do things and different ways that you can change and be present in the economy.
President Bostic also employs the same measured response when identifying birds by sight or sound.
So that call is a robin. Oh, right on the sign.
See it.
That's a phoebe.
Preening for us.
And then on the trail, where did it go? Oh, it just flew up. I think that was a chipping sparrow. So I think it's yeah, they're on that low branch in the front. Ooh. That's a white-breasted nuthatch. If you look on the tree trunk, on the tree on the left, you see it flying down, walking down the trunk?
I do.
On the left-hand side, that's a white-breasted nuthatch. It's a bluebird to the right.
Men of accomplishment like yourself always have to be fueled by the next thing, or ambition for someone like you looks very different from a lot of other people. How does that spell out for you at this point in your life?
It's funny, I'm not like a long-term, 3 years from now I want to be in one place or something like that. I really just try to do things that I really like, that I enjoy, that I have a passion about, and do them to the best of my ability. And what I've found is that when I do that, people seem to notice it. It allows me to be in conversations that are interesting, and then new opportunities will present themselves. And for me, I think the thing I've tried to always be open to is anything could be an opportunity, even the unexpected. And so like this job, 12 months before I was in the role, it was not on my list at all.
Really?
Not at all. I was a happy professor in Los Angeles at USC, and a headhunter just called me and said, "Do you think you'd be interested?" And I was like, "That sounds pretty interesting as a position."
But today, the boardroom, the news conferences, the suit and tie are on hold. The psychological break is most welcome.
Yeah, so this is it's actually a very interesting type of little meadow. You'll see, like for places like this, you're going to look for things bouncing around in the grasses, but you're also going to try to see, because there are a bunch of good edges here, so you'll get flycatchers and things that will get perched on the outskirts, and then they'll fly out, catch something, and then go back. It's called catching things on the wing.
Yeah, it's beautiful.
For Georgia Public Broadcasting, I'm Jeff Hullinger.